In this week's American Opportunity, at some point in our working lives, a lot of us will have to face a very hard decision. How do we balance our work with taking care of a family member who suddenly needs full-time help or a new child? Senator Kirsten Gillibrand of New York, a Democrat, is pushing legislation she thinks is the answer, but it is a very tough sell in this Congress. The United States is the only industrialized country in the world with no mandated paid paternal leave. You've got nearly 43 million workers who have no paid leave as parents, according to CNN Money. You've introduced legislation to change this. It is a tax, trying to get that through a Republican-led Congress. Tell us how it would work. Walk us through it.
So we are the only industrialized country in the world that doesn't have paid leave, which is absurd because for most families, 8 out of 10 moms are working. And so if you don't have flexibility, whether it's a mother who's dying, you need to be with her by her side, or a spouse who's ill, a child who's sick, or a new baby, families need to be able to accommodate those life events. And every person is going to have a life event during their lives. And so what we want to have is a paid leave program for all Americans to buy into as an earned benefit, something you actually put a little money aside every week, about $2 a week.
This is a payroll, part of the payroll tax.
Yeah, so it would be 0.2%. It's a very small amount of money. It's about $2 a week. And so you would put $2 a week into your account. Your employer would match it. It's the cost of a cup of coffee a week. And I can promise you, most employers, you ask them, would you buy each employee 1 cup of coffee a week? They would say yes.
But see, that's not how your opponents in Congress see it.
Because they aren't thinking about it. They aren't actually thinking it through.
Is that fair?
Yes, it is fair. I don't think they are thinking about it. And I think members of Congress live in a bubble. A lot of them have caregivers at home. They have unlimited child support, unlimited resources. And sometimes their spouses didn't work outside the home. And so they have enormous opportunity to provide for whatever family event they have because they have a different life. They have unlimited resources to meet those needs. And so I think they're out of touch.
Who does this apply to in terms of companies? It would apply to my employer, big employers,
everyone,
but
big,
small mom and pop?
And it levels the playing field because today, the best employers are already doing this. The Googles of the world, the Facebooks of the world, these large successful
They've got
companies,
a lot of money.
They have a lot of money. Law firms, accounting firms, they all do it, okay? Because they know that if they can provide leave, they can retain their best employees. They've already made the business case. They know that it costs billions of dollars every year for companies to replace workers when they leave, when there's a life event and they have no leave. So they know that if they're going to be the best employer, keep their employees, have a strong bottom line, they need to have paid leave.
So let me ask this. Carly Fiorina was asked about this from my colleague Jake Tapper.
When I was the chief executive of Hewlett-Packard, we also offered paid maternity leave and paternity leave. For the government to tell others how to do things when the government hasn't gotten its basic house in order is not only ineffective, it's hypocritical.
What do you mean basic house in order? The government shouldn't tell anybody that they have to offer paid maternity leave?
I don't think it's the role of government to dictate to the private sector how to manage their businesses.
You just named a host of major companies, Microsoft, Facebook, you name it, who are doing this. Why should it be up to the government?
Well, if Carly Fiorina was more aware, her state has paid leave. California has one of the best paid leave policies in the country. And in fact, if she talked to her businesses, she would support it. 91% of the companies in California said that having a paid leave program did not have any negative effect on their bottom line, on their productivity and profitability. And so the companies in California like this. And the reason why, if you had it as a government insurance plan, so it applies to everyone, then small businesses can compete. It levels the playing field for the little guy who could never afford this on their own. And one more reason, it's good for the economy. Because for men, they're going to lose about $280,000 during their lifetime because they don't have paid leave. Women are going to lose about $320,000.
Those are staggering numbers.
Yeah, we call that the sticky floor. For young women who have maybe the only wage earner or primary wage earner for their family, 40% of moms and workers who are women are the primary or sole wage earners for their family. They leave that job and they get hired right back at the bottom rung, and they never get out of this cycle of working for low wage pay, low wage pay, low wage pay.
President Obama has been very vocal about paid leave. He's encouraged states and companies. He hasn't endorsed this bill. Why? And do you think he will?
President Obama supports this. Presidential candidates support it. And what we're debating now is, well, what's the best way to write that bill? What's the best way to pay for that bill? And so the fact that at least presidential candidates on Democrat and Republican sides are saying, yes, we should have paid leave in this country.
Marco Rubio has made a proposal.
Marco Rubio supports it. He wants to do it with tax credits. Secretary Clinton wants to do it with a different tax. President Obama, I don't know what his first choice is, but the fact that we're having a conversation about how do we make this happen is far better than whether we make this happen.
So how do you get the president, Secretary Clinton, Marco Rubio, all on the same page to vote on a bill to get something through?
So having this conversation is step one, having a national conversation about why we need paid leave. Overwhelmingly, polls show everyone supports paid leave. Even Republican white men overwhelmingly support paid leave. It's across the board. America's behind this. And so we need to just get our national leaders to continue to talk about it, to put out their proposals. I like the earned benefit model because it covers everyone, and people can buy in over their lifetime so it's there when they need them.
My thanks to Kirsten Gillibrand, Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, for that. Much more with her ahead in the program.